Hello and welcome back to round one coverage from the 2022 Professional World Championships from Emporia, Kansas. We had some great play to start it off, and we're back with 9 more holes on JomezPro. Nate Sexton, Jeremy Koling, and Paul Ulibarri.
Let's take a look at that. Front 9, Chris Dickerson with just 2 pars, 7 under, scorching hot front 9. McBeth slow to start, but he's got a turkey right now, 3 under. But they are all chasing Corey Ellis right now. This is in the A pool, obviously. We've got 2 pools here at the World Championships, both in the MPO and the FPO division. But Corey Ellis, 8 under to start. Joel Friedman tied with Chris at 7 under, and a slew of other players at 6. Hot starts for the World Championships. We wouldn't have it any other way.
You got it. You got it.
Hole 10, par 4, 724, getting right into that back 9. This is a pretty tough hole. You want to go dead straight as far as you can. A lot of people are playing the hyzer to get into position. There is out of bounds left, out of bounds right. Second shot is into this super tight green. And so if you're short, you might not have a putt unless you're directly online. So very important to be accurate on your upshot.
I just think it's really hard to throw a drive past all these trees into the spot you'd want to be to set up that nice birdie. There's just so many places you can make mistakes. He got a pretty good kick there, but it's just not easy to access that landing zone we're all dreaming about.
Those trees on the right side, incredibly grabby, hard to really get a good throw out of them. Barsby's going to swing this down the middle a little bit more. This is going to skip left. Not a ton of distance, but good placement. He's definitely going to have a look to the green from there.
Yeah, the back 9's just going to play a lot tougher than the front 9. Without a doubt, has the hardest holes on the course. So there are some gettable ones for sure coming up, but in order to score a lot of birdies back here, you're not going to see any 8 unders back here. No, I don't think.
Mason's got this turned over like Paul's. They're both going to be perhaps accessible. Chris is very short. This is going to be a tough birdie to attain from back here.
This doesn't have the turn.
That's not going to turn enough. And things can actually be a little bit awkward over there. I mean, actually, he found himself maybe in back edge of C1, but I don't think there's even a look. Maybe mid C2?
Yeah, there's nothing over there.
Yeah, no real chance to go at it, I don't think. I like this. You'd rather miss this right. He doesn't miss it at all.
Not really.
But I think pushing towards the tree on the right gives you more of a chance.
For as open as this hole feels, it's very technical. The fairway is quite open, but as soon as you're off the fairway down the middle, you really don't have much at all. Mason's not going to have anything from there.
Paul's got 3 in a row. You'd like to keep that momentum going.
Oh, that's
maybe
3.5 in a row. Oh my gosh, that's 4.
Talk about a technical shot. That was 8 to 9 out of 10 in difficulty. Look at this move.
There's just not enough space from that close of a range to really bend one in.
Yeah, you'd have to kind of hit the branches in order to make it.
What? Does he really have a way to go at it? No.
Oh, this isn't good.
That's what happens in there. You have to just take your medicine and slide that one under the pin. See if Chris can avoid the costly bogey. Yeah, that's one he's going to wish he had back. Make sure that branch is still sturdy. It is.
Nice birdie from Greg.
That is the hole played the way he designed it. He put himself in the fairway through an approach to 25 feet, make the putt. That's how you draw it up. Not an easy birdie here on hole 10.
I remember when you guys were like, oh, McBeth, he's just so many behind Chris Dickerson. How could he ever come back on this guy? Well,
he's going to be two back now.
Two back.
It's happening.
Yep.
That's what these guys do, man. They go on streaks. Chris will go on a streak. Paul will go on a streak. And there'll be plenty more of those streaks.
For sure.
For the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, and I definitely don't mean to say, like, there's no way for Paul to come back, but it is like,
when's it going to happen?
You really want to spot a guy all those shots, even though you do know nobody can stay that hot for 5 days. I mean, you're going to have ups and downs. And Chris running into just the slightest bit of a down maybe there with the bogey.
We're flying under the low ceiling here of hole 11. It's actually just a low ceiling, a little bit off the tee, but 493 feet downhill the whole way. But this line is incredibly, just so specific. And McBeth has thrown a laser.
Oh, this is going to be parked.
Wow,
Sweet.
what a shot. Third hardest hole on the course, 307 average. I'm surprised it's actually not higher.
And I can also say without a doubt, nobody is going bogey-free in this tournament. Nobody.
For the tournament?
For the tournament,
yeah.
no, yeah.
So you're going to see these little
out of bounds
bogeys
on every hole.
pop up here, pop up there. It's not a big deal at all.
No.
Momentum killer, sure. They're not worried about it.
When the wind's down, you're really not going to see many doubles or triples either. And maybe at Country Club on some of those really tough holes. I think of like hole 12. But you shouldn't see too many really devastating. Oh, wow, this is a cool angle here.
Does it stay straight all the way? Not quite. But it's a putt.
That certainly made 430 feet look short.
Oh, this is a tough.
Wow.
Safe, though.
He got way up here.
He's going to have to go forehand roll or just a pitch out.
Oh, man.
What a incredibly horrible lie.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's...
No, it didn't go as far as I feared. Certainly the other side of that coin of being one of the greatest throwers from that distance is you are going to set yourself up with a couple comebackers.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to turn that switch off to go for it when you make so many. Mason, once again, a nice bid from that 100-foot range, this time coming up a bit short. Meanwhile, Chris's birdie look from mid-C2 is pure.
Wow. That was... He didn't even jump. That was all control. Playing downhill a little bit, I think that's part of it. Coast it right in on the stripe. That's a beautiful putt.
Only, wow, 14% of the field taking birdie on this hole, and McBeth is not one of them. That is a total of 15 players out of our 109-player count. That is a huge bonus birdie, and Barsby trying to avoid the costly double, and does with a nice putt for the bogey.
Crunches the leaf. No chance to survive that. It was already dead. Don't worry, guys. The leaf was already dead.
I mean, speaking of no chance, I think we can all agree, now that Chris has opened up a 3-shot lead over McBeth, it's over.
It can't even
that's
anything.
done. That battle is done. Chris will finish ahead of McBeth in this World Championship.
That we know for sure.
All right, hole 12, par 3, 302, going uphill to the island green.
Let's go right into running it with Bushnell.
Oh, steady hands there.
Yes. Distance is 302 feet. This is an island hole. All kinds of different ways you can approach this green. Forehand, very viable option with the hill kind of negating the skip. I like that a lot.
Eric Oakley there, AJ Carey here.
As you can see, it's playing 17 feet of elevation there as well.
Yeah.
So it's up a little bit.
If you've got the forehand, it really calls for it with that right to left slope. It really collects the disc, as you see just a whole compilation of forehands here. Emerson Keith inside the bullseye. Zach Melton lefty, that's basically a righty forehand. I got to play with Zach and got to see this shot in person. A nice little park job.
Nice.
A lot of forehands coming in here.
But there were a couple backhands as well, I believe. Maybe we'll see one at some point.
Here's a Luke Humphreys.
Wow.
Oh.
Okay, a little hop. That's close.
This guy doesn't use the forehand much. Johnny McRae with the wide backhand.
And if you hadn't seen it yet, you've seen it now. McRae, incredible ace. Just
that's awesome.
A memory you'll never forget. Getting an ace at the World Championships.
Probably like his 8th or 9th of his life, don't you think?
It's gotta
Yeah,
be.
well, you know what you need to do? You need to start using Bushnell official data in your own game. Check out the link in the description or go to bushnell.com/disc golf.
Continuing the trend of forehand heavy. Chris does not get it underneath the ceiling, but is still in bounds. He's going to have an uphill 30-footer for the birdie. But McBeth is going to go with that buzz. And there you see, again, that left hand very still in his run-up. Talked about that a bit on the front nine. Paul, what's going on with that left hand?
Well, it sounds like he's got a little injury in the shoulder. Doesn't want to be touching the disc in that run-up like he would normally do. So a little different.
And Mason has not got it over the high grass. He can't believe it. That's a huge mistake. He's going to have to go to the drop zone.
Talk about a surprising play here. Barsby going with the backhand
Yeah,
here.
that is. And this is going to be skipping down the hill in a hurry.
A lot of space down there to stay in bounds, but that's going to be a longer putt than Barsby would like. Here's a little view of that drop zone. A pretty simple shot.
Not really.
Well,
Where
just
you want to be throwing from for...
Yeah, it's just a costly shot. I mean, this is second easiest hole in the course. Really one you'd like to get. And Greg's going to miss that putt for birdie. It's a lost opportunity, and it really hurts after the bogey he just took on 11. Meanwhile, Chris's hot round continues with a nice birdie putt. 8 under now.
Under through 12 with a bogey. Shredding.
And McBeth does make the correction on his putt.
That, I think, right there is the hardest putt in the game. Straddling out wide uphill.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the hardest putt that we have.
Obviously, throwing a low ceiling. And
exactly.
And that kind of has a low ceiling from under those trees, and that can be really difficult.
Just so hard to get the power from the legs when you have to stretch out wide, low ceiling, uphill. It just seems like a mile. Made it look easy, though. This next hole.
Not easy.
I mean, it might look easy.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, it kind of looks like, oh, yeah, I could do this, but you probably can't. This is a par 3 at 466 feet. Out of bounds all on the left-hand side. Throw it as straight as you possibly can. There is out of bounds on the right, but I don't really think that comes into play for these guys.
This one has sort of a classic feature, I feel like, of a tricky, nervy par 3 in that underneath this first gap, it's all out of bounds. So you have the added pressure. If you do hit one of those trees early, you're out of bounds, dropping straight down, drop zone or last place in bounds, in trouble. Chris is going to put it to 70 maybe. A long look up the hill.
McBeth going with the Onyx. He's going to need to start this off left side and get this to start drifting right. And it is drifting right, but maybe too aggressively.
But don't you guys agree? I mean, the gap is big.
Yeah.
But it's in your mind. Like, if you were to miss this gap, it's now out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to put that past you. You have to look at this line and say this is huge, because if you start to address that line as being tight, it gets even tighter.
Yes.
But I totally agree. I mean, it definitely has that extremely tough penalty if you do not clear that creek. It is not an easy force save from the drop zone. The drop zone is where the old hole used to be.
Look at this drifter.
Mason with a beautiful drive. That is going to be a nice correction from the bogey he just took on 12. If he gets a birdie here, that's going to be a nice reversal.
Some good touch there from Paul. Very short. Here's Barsby with a little throw. You know he's not leaving it short, or not trying to at least.
Yeah.
Good height.
Yeah. Almost brings up another.
Whoa.
Okay.
Okay. He's heating up.
Outside circle 2 potentially.
Yeah, that is
huge. Like, gotta see this again.
One of those ones that just hits
Yeah.
perfect, barely over the rim. Oh, that's a sweet spot.
Chris has a lot of flutter out of the hand, but that thing corrected itself into a smooth flight for about 60% of the putt. And look at what Mason's left with. A great drive, and he is just stymied, but gives it a good run anyways. Off the top, it'll be a par for Mason. That 1 under start for Mason is starting to feel really slow, especially with Dickerson now at 9 under.
And I gave Paul a nice touch on that upshot. I'm taking it back, because that was kind of a tough putt.
No doubt.
Good putt.
Yeah, give him a good putt.
Yeah.
Take away his nice touch, but give him a good putt. You know, nobody's hurt by that.
Kind of surprised that one averaged below par. I mean, you didn't see that many bogeys, didn't see that many birdies. A lot of pars on hole 12.
Hole 14, par 4, 695. You'd like to get out a big hyzer here. Throw something that even flattens up a bit at the top and then just swings as far left as possible. This ditch, not out of bounds anymore. So this hole is a lot more attackable than it was a few months ago at the Dynamic Discs Open.
I think it's a good change. I think it avoids the thing we try to not see too much, which is the double penalty.
Yeah, I feel like if you do hit one of those trees, you don't deserve a birdie, but you definitely don't deserve double bogey.
Yeah.
So where you see some leak in on the left that were way worse than your shot, and then they get birdie. So I do like the change. The gaps are just too tight.
Mm-hmm.
McBeth very wide after Chris throws a nice one. This is still going to work its way right back into the middle of the fairway.
Barsby gets that nice turn out of it. This will end up a lot of the same, right in the middle. Some people do go from left to right and kind of punch it through the left gap over there to get some more distance, but most people are going to just play this hyzer.
Yeah, at only 695, you know, you throw a nice smooth power shot, you're going to be 325 in, maybe less if you have a big arm, and that's adequate, I feel.
Beth going the wide, biggest gap and skipping past the basket.
Still see one.
Mm-hmm. Good approach.
Barsby going through the widest of the gaps. I like that, but it makes you play to circle's edge. The inside gap kind of pushes you right towards the pin there. If it was OB, you'd see more people going for the route that Barsby took.
Yeah.
That's going to find its way into the ditch for Mason Ford's approach. It's going to have about 45 to 50 feet. And Chris has got this on a great line, and that is going to bring him to 10 under now.
Wow.
Through 14. My goodness, what a start he is having right now. This is incredible stuff.
Mason's been finding himself outside the circle a lot and hitting the band a lot.
I just see one. Barsby's in.
I feel like that's kind of a big flex what he just did there. I mean, the confidence that it shows to go, 35 will be fine for me. and then to knock it down. That's a great headspace and execution place to be in when you're coming into the World Championships. I mean, I think that bodes well for him.
Anytime you can choose the widest, safest gap and put yourself 35 feet away every time, but know in the back of your head you're going to make the putt.
Yeah.
What a weapon to have. Hole 15, par 3, 396 feet. There's two options. There is a wide flexing hyzer play that skips back down towards the water, or there is a big forehand play. If you do go the forehand play, there is that tree on the left side by the water's edge that can be a little bit in the way if you have the power to reach it. Looks like Chris might be going flex down the road.
This might need some help. Does it get back in bounds? Yes.
It does. It's a very specific line. You have to really trust it out over the road with an overstable disc in order for it to get back off the road.
Here's that power sidearm play.
Oh boy.
Falling all over the place. This is
Wow.
needs to get through. It does.
He looked
Okay.
in a lot of pain there the way he turned around. I hope he's okay. Just an awkward step off the end of the tee box on his last shot.
Yeah.
Last step.
Just going to be outside the circle. He looks fine back there chilling.
This hole during DDO, nothing has changed. This hole was just impossible. We were just ripping into straight headwind, and there was no way to get there. And Greg just throws a hyzer to about 15 feet and made it look like it was the easiest thing he's ever done.
I didn't know Mason had the sidearm like this.
Well, let's see if he does have the sidearm like this. That's
Almost.
C2. Yeah,
Almost.
he's got to look.
Doesn't try to go for it. He just made everything.
Wow. Not a layup. Not on purpose.
No,
huh?
I don't think so either. I think just when I've had so many shots not go in, it starts to feel deflating. McBeth, however, look at this. He took so long to get under par, and now he's at 7, and now he's in the really good round category.
Yeah. Greg 2-6 under.
One of those birdie putts that you don't even feel good about getting your disc out of the basket, but you should. You got it done in 2. That was the objective.
Call him airball makes. People are like, why aren't you happy about it? Because I airballed it. That's why.
It took me so long to get used to saying that. Like when you would hit chains and then miss it and be like, I airballed that. I'm like, I don't think you understand what an airball is. I'll show you. I can give you a proper airball anytime you want, buddy.
Looking at 16, one of the hardest holes on the course, par 4, 827. You'd like to find this landing zone to the left of where the drone is now, and then you've got this big crossing shot of roughly 400 feet going slightly downhill to the green. Keep in mind there is out of bounds just around C1 edge behind the basket.
A classic combination hole here at Jones Supreme. Just missed the flagpole. Perfect. Sit down there.
Oh yeah, that's
ideal.
all you ever wanted.
A little bit of tailwind playing on this hole, which I don't think we're that used to.
Man, this view is
This
cool.
is so cool.
Just get in front of that one.
Yeah, it did it.
Okay. That is fine. He's going to have to flex it from there, though. It's playing pretty far. That's 440 downhill.
Yeah.
Super high.
I don't think this has the distance to get to the sweet spot. This Oh, well, I was wrong about
pretty
that.
sweet.
Yeah, a little far back. But yeah, I thought he was going to be challenging those trees, and he cleared them easily.
And that feels to me like the play of a guy who's gone OB deep a couple times in practice because he threw it so high.
This was low.
Could be screaming, though, off this parking lot. Missed that pylon and way up there.
What a drive.
Still not great, though.
It's going to be, a little
Good
bit.
forehand, I would think.
Yes. The angle is going to be completely cut off for the backhand hyzer unless he wants to go all turn. Chris, however, he's able to just kind of flip one to flat. This one's going to be hyzering off left and coming up just a bit short in the circle.
Putting for 11.
Here's that flex. Did he get it over? Not all the way, but that's okay. Seen him make some long ones before.
He's made a couple long ones today. McBeth has the all hyzer play, but he's going to go straight.
This looks fantastic. Yeah, let's take that one.
That one's good.
Not a forehand.
No, he's going to go turn.
Oh, and that is understable.
Wow, Mason, what angle control. That was fantastic.
See how parked this got. It looked like potential bullseye.
That is classic Mason Ford right there. Great angles from distance. He is so good at that range.
Oh, so easy. That was a very direct putt for Greg.
He didn't have the ceiling to really do the high arcing hyzer.
Wow.
Put a little blitzkrieg on that. That was a really nice shot from Greg. This might even be just outside C1. It is, and it's going to be off the rim. Settle down. Meanwhile, McBeth, just another birdie climbing up the leaderboard.
He's at 8 under.
Chris stays at 10.
If there's one thing we can learn from McBeth, if you're ever having one of those slow starts, bad day at league, just rip off 7 out of the next 9. You'll feel a lot better.
I have never seen another group of people talk about their thing the way that disc golfers talk about our thing. And it feels like you're a part of it. It feels like no matter how big the sport gets, you being a part of it, you feel like you have an investment in it, and it's yours.
He's way out of position. Like,
he's gonna have to force it, though.
I don't think he can.
Think it's even possible?
It's in the impossible range.
The way Worlds ended last year, you couldn't have wrote that in a book.
After the initial reaction, I had to process.
If you don't even think it's a sport, watching this moment has to get you pumped up.
He's going to need the shot of the century.
I could sense something was about to happen.
Looking at hole 17 here, par 4, 710 feet, going uphill for the majority of the fairway and then maybe slightly back down at the green. As you can see, low ceiling the whole way, OB on both sides. And it is a little treacherous. It slopes away a little quicker on that back right side, and it's a little skippier than most other areas of this course. It's kind of humid out here. The grass is not giving up big skips as you've been seeing all day. This one, I think, a little different. If you come in with too much speed, definitely could pay for it.
This is a hard hole. This is second hardest on the course.
All going with the wide hyzer. He needs help.
Oh, gets a skip off the road and just crawls back in.
That was close to just completely devastating. He would have had to go way back.
I can't imagine he's planning for that to get anywhere near the pavement.
Okay, good action off of that.
Yeah.
That'll be about 320 feet into the pin.
This one was a little left to right breeze, and that made the big wide hyzer a bit tougher. So I felt like more people were going directly through the middle of this fairway, which is why I feel like it took a while for McBeth to come back.
It's kind of like a left to right headwind even. Like this shot right here was very hard to get low enough underneath the ceiling. Shots going up the hill were kind of getting a little bit of a lift.
There's a zipper. If that beats the last one, that's a great little approach. And he kind of caught it.
But that should be in the range of fairly easy for Chris on his approach. Mason never really had a chance to clear the hill, and he's going to be playing some catch-up in the upcoming rounds. But a lot of places where he's going to be able to clean it up next time we come back here to Jones Supreme. Quality approach for Greg, an opportunity to make another big putt for birdie. Meanwhile, McBeth has just nothing in the way, and he's going skyward with the big hyzer. Just
interesting. I don't think I've seen anyone go hyzer.
Never able to. You'd have to aim almost sideways in years past, I feel like.
Yeah.
Well
Easy.
done for Chris, yep.
Barsby's now 80% from circle 2.
Yeah, the putt is looking phenomenal.
Such confidence, man. That's the one putt that he put just outside the bullseye was the one that he was closest to missing in the last 4 holes.
Yeah.
Whoa, Mason has 24 discs in his hand. He must putt with a lot of discs in his hand, I feel like, in the practice green. Don't see that often.
Yeah.
McBeth now to get to 9. And it's the World Championships, folks. You know this guy's going to be in the mix. Incredible. Second most number of major wins in a career. He has 16. Climo, 19.
Our last hole today, 18 par 4, 789. Big drive through the gap, swing it left, try to avoid these 2 trees and push down here as far as possible. This ditch is out of bounds, so you got to be confident about hitting that gap coming up through here, uphill to the elevated basket in front of the fans.
Looks pretty good. As this disc is in flight, just get this, man. McBeth has 27 podium finishes at majors, tied with Climo for most all time.
Wow.
$176,000 that he's earned in just majors alone. That's greater than most players' entire career, and that's like great players.
Yeah.
Barsby with this hole, you really want to just throw pushing hyzer that's high enough to get to the left side. You're not looking to get crazy distance because the farther you go, really, the tighter the window is, and that's going to be tight right there. That'll be interesting to see what he does from there because the gap's going to be really tough to hit from that angle. This one looks like it should be fine. Anything over past these couple trees by the drop zone, and you're looking good.
Mason would love another 10 feet on that one. Chris, man, that branch really puts him at an awkward angle.
Whoa.
Try to throw a roller?
Oh.
What happened?
And that's out of bounds in the creek.
That's crazy. I mean, yeah, I think he was trying to roll it through there, which you would think would work most of the time.
I think he was trying
to ask.
Clear to the other side.
Yeah,
maybe.
with the roll though.
Because what it looked like is that roller hit the other side and bounced backwards.
Yes.
So I would think that he was trying to get it.
Wow.
I've seen him play that to roll past it. So
Mason, great shot from the drive that he'd like to have an extra 10 feet of distance, can work the angle anyhow and turns that over. Probably the same disc that he threw for his approach.
Yeah, same color.
On 16. And that was just another beautiful throw.
Out of position. Smart play there just to set up a shot to the basket.
Very wide hyzer. Little pull. It's going to be a tap-in par for Greg. He's going to finish his round at 8 under. A very solid start.
that's in the circle.
Double digits. Not today for Paul. That was for 10 under, just barely missing.
Chris, however, he is going to take a double, but double bogey. He's going to drop from 10 to 8 under, and all that started just because he hit the outer branches on the tree that stopped his seemingly perfect-looking drive from landing in the money spot. Had to scramble, out of bounds, didn't get up and down, and just like that, double bogey. McBeth is going to pass Dickerson. Your prediction was wrong. That's a tough finish for Chris. He had all things going today. Just that one bogey he had on 10, and the double after just a very, very cold finish. McBeth, the story of the back nine, though, turning things around, shooting 6 under. He is now at 9 total, followed by Chris and Greg, both at 8 under. Mason, a nice finish there on 16, 17, 18 to get to 3 under. Respectable. But man, look at all those 10 unders that have started the World Championships.
Some great golf being played, and I think we got to shout out somebody who is not even on this board.
Totally.
Because in the B pool, playing at Emporia Country Club, where you will see these guys all playing tomorrow, Tristan Tanner put down a 13 under.
It's just unbelievable.
In at 1088 at last check, and that even seems low.
Yeah. 13 under is remarkable.
What I'm seeing here is it's going to be calm tomorrow, which means it is going to be a birdie fest for the entire week from what I've seen with the predictions of the weather. I think that's what's going to happen for the rest of the week, is that it's just going to be 4 or 5 shots. Anybody can have it.
A lot of people in the mix, exciting golf and a world championship on the line. Can't really ask for more. Thank you guys so much for your support. We will see you tomorrow from Emporia Country Club.